Here's the one idea this whole video comes down to. The best dome camera isn't the one with the most features. It's the one that's the right tool for the deployment. I'm Marty. I spec surveillance systems for a living. Here's what we'll cover. Where domes fit, when a dome's the wrong tool, the field detail that Rex installs, and the specs and questions that decide which one actually performs. Start with what domes are good at. They're discreet. That low-profile housing blends into a ceiling, which is why you see them in retail, lobbies, and offices, where you don't want the camera dominating the room. Many are built tough. A lot of IK10 rated domes are designed to withstand significant impact and vandalism, which is why they're common in schools, parking structures, and transit. So what does that IK rating actually mean? It's an impact scale, running from IK0 up to IK10. The number tells you how hard a hit the housing can take. IK08 shrugs off everyday knocks. IK10, the toughest, is built to survive about 20 joules, a 5-kilogram mass dropped from 40 centimeters. For schools, parking structures, transit, and anywhere vandalism is a real risk. Spec IK10. For a quiet office ceiling, you don't need to pay for it. Outdoors, you'll also see an IP rating, like IP66 or 67. It's 2 digits. The first is dust. A 6 means completely dust tight. The second is water. A 6 handles powerful water jets. A 7 means it survives short submersion. For most outdoor cameras, IP66 is the practical floor. Match the rating to the weather it will actually face. Just verify the manufacturer's IK rating and the installation requirements, because that rating only holds if it's mounted the way they specify. And from normal viewing distances, it's often difficult to tell exactly where the lens is aimed, so a single dome can cover a wide area without broadcasting precisely what it's watching. So when is a dome the wrong tool? When the deployment calls for a long, specific directional view, a driveway, a fence line, a lot entrance. Coverage comes down to field of view, the angle of the scene a camera actually takes in. A wide lens captures a broad area up close, but detail falls off with distance. A narrower, longer lens gives up width for reach, concentrating its pixels far down range. And here's the key. That's the lens, not the housing. A dome or a bullet can wear either one. So the real questions are how wide an area you need to cover and how much detail you need on a target within it. People reach for bullets there, and here's the accurate reason. Bullet cameras are often chosen for longer, directional views because they are commonly paired with longer focal lengths, and their visible, obvious direction can be a stronger visual deterrent. But notice what I didn't say. The housing doesn't create the range. Range comes from focal length, optics, the sensor, and pixel density, not the shape of the camera. You can absolutely get a dome with a long lens. It's about matching the optics to the distance and detail the scene actually needs. Here's the detail that wrecks more dome installs than anything else, and it's almost never the camera's fault. IR reflection. At night, the camera's own infrared light bounces off the inside of the bubble and washes the image into a foggy gray. But understand what this really is. It's an installation and maintenance issue, not a camera defect. The usual culprits: fingerprints on the bubble, dust, scratches, the protective film left on after install, spider webs, insects, or a foam gasket that isn't seated flush against the lens. We've seen perfectly good cameras pulled and replaced because the night image looked cloudy, only to find the installer never peeled the film off the dome or never wiped the bubble down. That's a truck roll, a service call, sometimes a returned camera, all for something a microfiber cloth fixes. So, seat the gasket, clean the bubble, peel the film, and keep it clear on a maintenance schedule. On specs, stay deployment first. For many deployments, 4 megapixel gives an excellent balance of detail, low light performance, bandwidth, and storage. And on resolution, more megapixels isn't automatically more useful. What matters is pixels on target. The standard is called DORI, detect, recognize, identify. Detecting that something is there takes about 25 pixels per meter. Recognizing a familiar face takes 125. Identifying a stranger takes 250. So before you chase megapixels, ask how many pixels actually land on the spot that matters. Higher resolutions can add detail, but they also raise storage and bandwidth. And more megapixels don't automatically mean a better image, which brings up the principle that matters more than anything on the spec sheet. A perfectly positioned 4 megapixel camera will usually outperform a poorly positioned 8 megapixel one. Mount cameras where they see faces, not just the tops of heads. Then round it out for the scene, the right lens, wide dynamic range where bright windows sit behind people, and outdoors IP66 weatherproofing alongside that IK rating. And if you remember nothing else, remember the questions, because these stay true no matter how the hardware changes. What outcome do you actually need? What are the lighting conditions? How far away is the target? What level of detail is required? And what environment is the camera protecting? Answer those honestly, and the right camera, dome or not, tends to pick itself. So back to where we started. The best dome isn't the one with the most features. It's the right tool for the job in front of you. If you're deciding between a dome, bullet, turret, PTZ, or multi-sensor, use our buying guides and comparison tools to narrow it down. Or reach out if you'd like another set of eyes on your layout. Links are below. I'm Marty. Build something that actually works.